All right, folks, there it is. The Defense Logistics Building, otherwise known as the Kellogg Sanitarium from back in the day. Dr. Harvey Kellogg and his road to Wellville. There's the road to Wellville. Some of it has been raised over the years, but there's a good share of it that still exists. It was taken over many decades ago by the Defense Logistics Agency of our government, and all the orders for anything that the government and any branch of the service needed shipping or what it was and where it was going to go was processed through that building, all that paperwork. It was a very secure building. They had an offset print shop there. I sold them. I delivered there many times. And inside of the building is just knock dead gorgeous. But I don't think we have access to it anymore. Defense Logistics, I understand, moved out. There's some other entities in there. I tried to walk in there about a year ago, and it was even the parking lot was blocked off. We're going to take a look today and see if we can get in there. Anyways, behind me here is the old fire station. Wait till you see it. Now the signage is for the fire hub. Okay? Fire hub Battle Creek. Look at the turret right here next to the tracks. Historical marker. Old firehouse. Station number 4, 1903. I believe again it's the Richardsonian Romanesque. That's 3 in 2 days. I'll be right back. Large amount of manufacturing went on along here, along the tracks. Yeah, just enormous amount. Of course, with the river right here and the main thoroughfares, you can understand why. And this being the cereal capital of the world, a lot of employment here. Looking downtown. We're going to go up here just a little bit further and take a right. Look at the exposed beam architecture over here on the right. Oh, little place right there. Michigan Avenue. Area looks like it's been raised over the years, things, so forth. Yeah, a lot of things have changed down here. A couple of the buildings, the old bank. Here's the Seventh-day Adventists, they're still here. And of course, the Kellogg's were Seventh-day Adventist. And right over here, kitty corner from the Seventh-day Adventist church is the sanitarium. Here we go. Seventh-day Adventists. Look at the travertine. All around the top, patinaed copper. Over here across the street, you see the Kellogg, the Kellogg Manor. Beyond it were more facilities. Of course, the historical marker over here. If I can park, we're going to get out and take a little walk. Please hold on. I just turned down the Sanitarium Avenue. And there are nothing but signs like last time. Parking permit only. Federal Center, permit parking. Yep. I'm going to go around the block here a second and see if there may be something a little friendlier. Nice old school here. Of course, it's a dead end that I'm taking, not the school. Oh no, don't read into that. No way. No way. Let me proceed. All right, I'm gonna go around the block a little further here. I think I can find some parking. Look what we have here. You know, there was money back here. Everybody knows it, Battle Creek, Michigan. But this close to the sanitarium, you know, yeah. There's a little bit of history up here in this neighborhood. Go here up Ann Avenue a little bit. See a lot of homes like that one right there in Chicago. There's one that's like, what? That was an afterthought. But home nonetheless. Yep. Very, very interesting neighborhood right here. I'm glad I had a moment to scope this out. Now, straight ahead is the sanitarium. Here's another fire station. 1903, number 2. Oh yeah, now this is part of this is a daycare and a preschool on this end. Yeah, there's no parking. No, there's no parking. It's patrolled. You used to be able to drive right up in here. Maybe I'll sit here in the shade for a minute. At least get some gist of it. Beautiful cherry blossoms. Yep, very nice. Corner of Washington Avenue and Sanitarium. No, you're supposed to tell them not sanitarium, you're sanitation. You work in the sanitation. Remember Tony Montana? Yeah, I was in a sanitarium. I got him put in Freedom Town. There's a magnolia. Beautiful. Look at here. Alrighty, gonna proceed downtown where the cabs don't stop. This is a veterans park. See if I can get in here. This is the community center. I'm gonna park. Now this is looking straight downtown, Michigan Avenue on Gould Street. Of course, there's some businesses and storefronts along here that were raised over the years and turned into a parking lot. Here at the Veterans Park. Parked right over here, legally and safely. The sanitarium, Federal Center. Now, as you've seen in the road to Wellville, Dr. Kellogg had quite a little area up on the roof, or roof, that in the wintertime and the summer as well, take patients up there after maybe having a lower colonic and cleaning up after that, and then they'd wrap them in blankets and put them on a comfortable kind of a couch, and they'd lay them out in the sun in the middle of the winter, freezing cold out. They were warm, but they would deep breathe the cold air. help their lungs. After a session, they'd bring them back in, and kings and queens and gold jewelers, rulers, blockers, and cock blockers. Everybody would came over to see this. Presidents. And as they used to say, take of the waters, and they would go through his program. And very Adventist diet. Right across the street here, Seventh-day Adventist Church, the hotel, and other buildings that served as staff offices and other things, other businesses I read about. And there it is. Part of this was raised. Yep. But now I have to have special permit to get there. And here's the beautiful life-size bronze. Commemorating all eras. We'll look at the other side here. Well, I just talked to one of the city workers, and they're here to repair the flower beds. Get the beds all good to go. It's the Union. Grateful memory. Now this is World War I and II. These are the men here. I don't believe any were women. In World War II, there may have been nurses and so forth, but these combatants and died in the war, World War I, residents here of Battle Creek. And then as short as that war was, it was horrible. My gosh, you ought to study it. And then World War II. My first leaf blower of the year. You know, what I really thinking is that if these fellas, and if there's a lady there, if they were alive right now today and they've seen a leaf blower, they'd probably laugh like hell. They say, you know what? Them things are going to get people into a fight. I guarantee it. Same as a generator in a tent camp. You're trying to camp out there. There's campsites all around. All of a sudden, somebody fires up their generator. It gets dark. They had to hang up them tiki lights, I guess. I don't know. We pulled up camp and moved. The gentleman told me that this is the federal parking right over here, and that I said, me being a veteran, park and go inside, have a look. I don't know how far in or deep I'm going to be able to get into the sand, but I'm going to try. So we're going to make that a part 2. There's the gymnasium there in the distance. That's been here for a long time too. I'm going to get in there. I'll be right back. See you in part 2. Thanks for watching.